Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be a video that covers the next 6 months, so the remainder of 2022. And this reading is going to be for the zodiac sign of Capricorn. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot card. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. Especially because we're looking at 6 months, you're going to want to get as much information as possible. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me really greatly when you subscribe, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. And I typically post a few Capricorn videos a month. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so what's happened the last 6 months or so. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at the next 6 months, so through the end of 2022. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions. We're going to do a letting go note, an angel wishes note, a crystal for the next 6 months, and a healing note like we always end on. So let's go ahead and see what we've got going on here, pulling a summary card for column number 1, which is again kind of a reflection of the last 6 months, looking at what's wrapping up and ending for you. We have the card ready but waiting. So likely there's some things that you really wanted to move on, Capricorn, and the timing just wasn't quite right. You did more waiting than you would have liked. But let's see what messages we have here. The first card we have is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is a card of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. If you look at this card, we have these 8 cups at the bottom of the card, and they're stacked really nicely. But yet this person in the background is still moving away from them. So definitely some sort of transition, some sort of advancement. This is moving from good to better. The next card that we have is the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is a card of self-defense and feeling like you have to protect yourself against competition. So this is you standing on top of the hill here, Capricorn, with your 1 wand, and then there's these 6 other wands. So you've very much so been in a position of self-defense recently, it feels like, or there's just been a lot of competition, it seems like. Then at the bottom here, we have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change, news coming in, which is good because, again, with that ready but waiting, it seems like things haven't been quite moving for you. And the 8 of Wands is an indicator that if it hasn't already, things are going to start getting moving for you. There could have been some news coming in too. You could have found out something as well. But let's see what messages we've got going on here. The first clarifying card we have is the Magician. The Magician is a very creative card. It's inspired action. It's turning your visions into reality. So there's on this card a cup, a pentacle, a sword, a wand, and this abundance and infinity sign. So whatever you remember, this was good, going from good to better. So whatever this is better that you want, Capricorn, this is saying that you can have it. So this transition is worthwhile. It really is taking you to that better place, whatever you're seeking. The next card that we have is the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. With the Ace of Wands, this is typically a new project or inspiration to create. And what I'm coming up with here is like you may have had a business idea or like an invention or a thought, or maybe you want to write a book. It really can be anything, Capricorn. And people were like, didn't agree with your idea, or were very critical, or again, you're having to defend yourself why you would want to do this thing, or how you plan on doing this thing. So again, really some self-defense, or again, maybe if it was, let's say just an example, you want to write a book, and then you did some research and there's been 5 other books written, so you're kind of feeling the competition of that. But in this case, you need to just focus and continue to execute on whatever this plan is. The Magician's saying that it will come true and it will be very successful. So don't let this self-defense or competition sway you or stop you from pursuing your new Ace of Wands energy, that project, inspiration, urge to create. Then at the bottom here, we have the Chariot. Somebody once described the Chariot as the vroom vroom card to me. It means that there's action, there's change, things are moving. Again, the Eight of Wands was indicating that things were moving. So here very recently things had gotten moving for you, or if it hasn't yet, do know we're getting to the point where we're moving from that kind of ready but waiting stage really into some movement for you. This can also be a new vehicle, so some of you could have gotten a new car in the last 6 months as well. The Chariot is new vehicle. Congratulations to those of you that did get a new vehicle. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is kind of a general look at the next 6 months, so through the end of 2022. We have the card shift, and this is quite literally a shift. So going through that transition, going through that shift. Good shifts, of course, though. These are transitions and changes that we want. But let's see what messages we have here, Capricorn. Whew, sorry, I just bumped the camera. The first card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of having many, many choices. If you look at this card, there's something different in each 7 cups. This can also be an indicator like of being busy and having lots of different things going on. So I definitely would say these next 6 months are going to be busy for you, Capricorn. The Seven of Cups, though, can also be a card of having commitment issues, kind of being non-committal. So when I see this card, I do give the advice, like if there's something you're serious about or something that you want, do make sure that you commit and that you pursue. It can be hard when there's lots of noise and we're very busy, but again, if it's something you're serious about, make sure you fully commit. The next card that we have is the Star card. The Star card's a great card. It's a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. It can be being in the spotlight too. You see this giant star at the top here, indicating being recognized and being in the spotlight. But again, with this shift that we're talking about here, there will be renewal, new hope for you, inner clarity of what you're wanting. The Star card can also be like a card of miracles happening, so really anything can happen with the Star card. Nothing is off limits or out of reach. The next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a very self-sufficient card and very honest. So a lot of what you're going to be doing in the next 6 months is like you doing for you, Capricorn. But one key here is to be honest. So communication is key. Being clear on your intent, being clear on what you want. Communication seems to be a big word that is sticking out that you'll want to make a focus. Clarifying this row, let's see what other messages we have here. The first card we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very traditional card. It's very conventional. It's a card of conformity. Some of you are hesitant to fully commit something because you feel like you'll be trapped. But whatever this thing is that you're working on, Capricorn, you have to fully commit to it for it to be successful. So just keep that in mind. In terms of being traditional or conventional too, as you're being very busy these next few months, I would encourage you to break out of the norm, break out of tradition, break out of like the conventional way of doing things and take a very creative approach. None of these cards are necessarily saying creativity, but it's just what I'm getting. Like, you don't need to do things the standard way they've always been done. The next card we have is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It could be reflecting back. It is, again, kind of that halfway point for the year. We like to call this the second new year, 6 months into the year here. So pretty common to see some reflection around this time. The Six of Cups is also a card of reunion. So there's a chance that you'll be reunited with somebody the next 6 months. Also a card of gifts, so especially with that Star card we were talking about, that recognition, being in the spotlight, miracles happening, you can definitely expect some gifts that are associated with that. So really looking good there with those two cards. The next card we have here is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is a card of having to multitask and kind of weigh all of these options, which makes sense. We've already acknowledged with the Seven of Cups at the top there that you're going to be pretty busy. So I can see some juggling and some weighing of priorities that are going to happen. This is also a card of having to make a choice. And that's on top of that Queen of Swords. So make choices that feel right for you, that you feel self-sufficient doing. That's not even the right way to say that, but really be doing things that feel good at the core for you. So weigh options and really make sure you know what's benefiting you to the best as well. Really especially important because, again, some of you are feeling that kind of lack of commitment energy. So really weigh your options prior to committing to, so you know that you can fully commit. Now on the next column, we're going to talk about anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really anything that you associate with money, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of family, friends, reunion. We have had reunion come up twice, so I definitely do think there will be somebody that you're reconnecting with these next 6 months, possibly related to work. But this is also a card of celebration, so definitely some success and some celebration coming forward as it relates to money and your job. Of course, we'll clarify that and see what other information we can provide there. The next card we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is, well, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. We talked about the Ace of Wands a little bit ago. The Ace of Wands is new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. I do see that you are going to have new tasks or responsibility at work. It could be just like one big new project, but definitely new responsibilities and new tasks going into the next 6 months. And then at the bottom here, we have the Death card. The Death card doesn't actually mean death, but it does indicate going through a transition. This is a card of like big changes, things coming to an end, time to move on. Again, that transformation. I do think some of you will be switching jobs or at least switching job roles. This feels like a pretty big switch to your typical job function at this point. Again, taking on new tasks, taking on new job responsibilities. But this is like, it's time. It's time for you to take the next step as it relates to money and career. Let's see what messages I can give you here, clarifying. The first clarifier we have is the Justice card. The Justice card is a card of cause and effect. It's win-win solutions. And this is a card, oftentimes it's cause and effect. So again, you've worked very hard for this and now you're reaping the benefits. With that Four of Wands, there's definitely going to be some celebration. So again, this is you being recognized and being appreciated and being valued for the hard work that you're putting in. So that's a really great feeling, Capricorn. The Justice card is also good when it comes to legal contracts, court hearings, like legal court contracts, any of that kind of stuff. This is an indicator of it being beneficial for you. This could be like truth coming out too, and what I mean by that is like, again, being recognized for the hard work that you've done. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands, so another celebration card, which is really great to see. Definitely some successes as it relates to career and finances the next 6 months for you, Capricorn. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. You're going to be rewarded. You're going to be recognized. Lots of good news and lots of success coming in. Especially success is good to see because with this Ace of Wands, it does feel like you're going to be taking on a new job role, new project, some sort of new job potentially even. So it'll be very successful there for you and financially beneficial as well. At the bottom here, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. You're making this change because it's time to change. It's time to take that next step. But when I see the Four of Pentacles in this situation too, it's almost that confirmation or validation that this next step is the right thing for you. So this new project, this new job role, this new job that comes forward the next 6 months, Capricorn, it's going to be the right thing for you. It's going to be a good long-term move for you. And there's lots of success cards built in as well. Now taking a look at our next column, anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationship, children. Again, anything that you associate with love, Capricorn. Starting off at the top here, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an ace card, it is a card of newness. Technically, the Ace of Pentacles is new job, raise, promotion, investment, income. But again, just going off newness. For those of you that are single and hoping for a new relationship, this is a good indicator for you. But when I see a money card in the love column, this typically indicates money surrounding you. So if you have a roommate, this is your roommate getting a new job. If you're in a relationship, this is a new job for your lover. Again, some sort of new money surrounding you typically when I see the Ace of Pentacles. The next card that we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty, wanting to run away. For some of you, there will be a relationship that's ending, and this could be love interest, this could be family or friend. But I am, unfortunately, in the next 6 months, seeing some sort of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. And this person gathering their swords and kind of scooting away is going to be you. We'll see if we can clarify and give any more context there. Then at the bottom, we have the Six of Swords. I like the Six of Swords, but the card does look a little gloomy. These people are facing away from us, their heads are hanging down, and there's lots and lots of swords stuck into the boat. But if you look at this card, if you look at this card, the boat is moving forward in a positive direction. So with the Six of Swords, this is a necessary transition. It's something that has to happen. So for this relationship that is ending, it needs to end for a reason. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward from this. The Six of Swords can also be relocating or moving, so some of you could be physically moving as well. The first clarifying card we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. For some of those of you entering into that brand new relationship, I do feel like there will be some early issues, challenges. It's hard to say if this will completely end the relationship. Typically with the Five of Wands, these again are like small bumps in the road. On this card, they're fighting with wands, not fighting with swords. So again, indicating small bumps in the road instead of something major. But early in that relationship, there does seem to be some bumps in the road for sure. On top of the Seven of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, which is the card of grieving. This is loss, regret, grief. So again, I do see this relationship ending, and we will be sad this relationship is ending. But this is part of that necessary transition. It is something that needs to happen. But it's acknowledging that there are feelings there and that you did care for this person. At the bottom, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a really, really wonderful love card. This is a card of Prince or Princess Charming. This is Knight in Shining Armor type energy. It's very romantic. It's very proposal-like. So on the other side of this, if you're single and looking for a relationship, this is a great indicator for you. If this is a friendship that's ending, this is another friendship, a much better friendship, a much better love interest. So again, part of that necessary transition is going to lead you to this much better person. The Knight of Cups is really that epitome of the perfect partner. So keep an eye out for that. The next column we're going to take a look at is our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Dependability. I'm not saying that this isn't you already, Capricorn, but make sure that you stay dependable these next 6 months. But let's see what messages we have. This is something for you to carry into the end of 2022 with you. Let's see what messages we've got. The first card we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a really long-term card. It is also a card of respect and leadership, but strategic planning is something that comes to mind. So this is very long-term type energy, doing the right thing to set yourself up for success. I feel like going to the next 6 months, we're doing a good job of doing that. I know we've talked about that already once. We'll see what clarifying comes up there. The next card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having lots of burdens. We did acknowledge that this is going to be a very busy next 6 months, so make sure you're not letting yourself get burnt out. Put down the wands, put down the burdens. Again, make sure you're not burnt out there. Then we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is very bold, very powerful, very leadership-like, very charming and courageous as well. Between the King of Wands and the Emperor, we do have two cards that are saying leadership. So there's definitely going to be some leading that you're doing. This could be you leading yourself, or this could be you leading others, Capricorn. But just be aware of that leadership. That seems to be the word that's sticking out in this message so far. The first clarifying card we have is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. So I do think in the next 6 months there will be financial gain for you, which is really wonderful to see. And again, this is strategic, long-term money. These are the right moves for you to be making. So two nice confirmation cards there for you. In the middle here we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident and very self-assured. At some point you're going to need to do your own self-assurance is the message that I'm getting here. But you also need to take care of you. So if you're overwhelmed, you are stressed and exhausted, you are also the one that's responsible to put down all of these wands. So keep that in mind, Capricorn, that you need to be the one that corrects for yourself. At the bottom here we have the Page of Cups. This is a card of hard work, being very studious. This is also an indicator of new love, so there could be definitely some new love for some of you. We have two really nice side-by-side love cards here, but that's on top of that King of Wands, which is, again, leading yourself forward. And this is something that we've been working very hard for. Continue to work hard and continue to be dependable. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quickly, Capricorn. But for question number 1, we have the 8 of Spades. This is number 32 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 4 of Diamonds. This is number 27 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3 is the 7 of Clubs. This is the number 20 card. That's also going to be a yes. So we have no, yes, yes for you, Capricorn. I debated if I was going to do this or not, but I decided I did want to. So we're going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. This is the crystal to keep with you throughout the remainder of 2022. Your crystal is aventurine, which is good for meditation, introspective. It really gives you inner and outer peace, and it helps you take the right action at the right time. I don't typically pull one of these cards, but since we are at that 6-month milestone, we want to let go of the last 6 months and really focus in on the next 6 months. We're going to pull a card from that Let Go deck. Your Let Go message is: meditate to dispel all fears and become a beautiful, enchantingly magnetic person. And then we're also going to pull a card from our Angel Wishes deck. This is going to be a message from one of your loved ones who has passed away. Your Angel Wishes message says, your dream is a message from your loved ones. And last but not least, we're going to end our reading with a healing note, as I do with all my videos. Your healing note says, owning your story is one of the bravest things you will ever do. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new videos. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Capricorn, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of 2022.